Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 4 of Inktober, and so let's just go ahead and get right into it. So day 4 is freeze. So I've got my piece of paper here, and I'll be using my black fine liner, white gel pen, and then blue hues in my Ohuhu brush markers, which Ohuhu is sponsoring this video, as they are with all of Inktober that I'm doing. So I've got the PB7, PB9, PB6, and finally PB2. And those are the brush markers. I'm going to be using 2 of the original Ohuhu markers, colors BG1 and BG3. And then of course, my colored pencil for sketching. So let's go ahead and get to sketching. And so basically I'm just going to go over the definition. Freeze in verb form of a liquid is basically just turning into ice or another solid as a result of extreme cold. When used as a noun, it's an act of holding or being held at a fixed level or in a fixed state. One thing's for sure, I'm feeling uninspired by any of those definitions. Okay, I've got this kind of an idea. I'm thinking like an ice block and then the figure of a character like being trapped in it. I don't know. Let's see how that ends up going. Let's see if I can make it as cool as I'm picturing it in my head. So I definitely didn't have plans to make her a sea creature. It kind of just evolved into that. And I only say that because I've already, for day 4, have done a mermaid. So I didn't want to follow in that same vein, but it seems like I am. And a part of me is like, no, don't do another sea creature. But you know, it's pretty much what came to me. So I'm doing another sea creature. And now I'm going to go ahead and line it. Although I should probably erase some of the harsher lines. Yeah, I should probably do that first. Okay, so I erased my lines a bit, and now I'm going to go through and ink. This hand came out a little awkward, but I guess it works. She's frozen, and I figured awkward poses in some areas might be appropriate since she's frozen, and who knows, maybe she was flash frozen, so she didn't really have time to like think of a comfortable pose, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just basically trying to justify any sort of awkwardness. I really like all the vellum I did, but I'm wondering if it might be too much. It's possible. Her fish legs are quite interesting. And I did think about doing just one fishtail, but then I figured I'd just keep 2 individual fishtails because it's not a common look. Still debating if that's a good choice or not. There's a lot of things that I just sort of, I don't know, kind of did on a whim, and I'm just going with the flow. So now I'm making her ice cube cage, and then I have it sort of melting up top over here, which I felt would kind of make sense for why, like, her hand is sticking out and her fin over here is sticking out. So then the areas that we have popping out are her hands. I went ahead and made both of them pop out. And then her knees are kind of coming out. Her fish knees, I guess you could say. I don't know. And then this fin right here. And that's pretty much it. I did think briefly maybe I should do her face popping out, but I don't think that's a good decision. I think I'm going to leave it as it is. And yeah, as far as lines go, I think we're done. I may come back and perhaps do a bit more. I'm not sure. I don't want to do overkill. So anyways, let's go ahead with coloring. So that's what I have these here for. So I'm doing the BG1 for her skin, but only on places that are outside of the, iceberg? Ice cube. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the parts of her that are inside of the ice cube darker. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's darker, but a noticeably different tone. And I figured to like add some contrast, I'd go with this really dark blue. It's the PB6 royal blue and do her hair. The dark blue for her hair definitely came out looking a lot better than I originally thought it would. So I'm really happy about that. And then I'm going to take PB9 and kind of just like outline the cube. I don't want to put too much color because I don't want to lose the character that I've made inside of this cube. And then I will take this icier blue, the PB7, and just color in this side of the cube just to kind of show that dimensional effect. And I'm running out of ink on this one. It's because I use these lighter colors just way too much. All right, it lasted long enough. All right, I added a little bit of rubbing alcohol into the chisel tip side just so I could get every last bit of color and do like the melted part of the ice. All right, let me do her eyes and some shading. And then lastly, my shinies. All right, and a part of me wants to ink in the background black. Should I do that? I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna leave just a little bit of white space just so that the character and the ice cube and all that is kind of like the focal point. All right, not too bad. So far, I like it. I was a little worried it would have been a bad decision, but it seems like it may have not been a bad decision. So, yay. All right, and that completes day 4 for the word freeze. I briefly thought about putting like more black ink to fill in my white areas. Because technically, like, if the background were all black, that sort of background could be seen through the ice cube. But I got a little nervous and I didn't want to push it that far because I think it came out really nice enough right now. So I feel like a last minute decision like that would be a bad decision. And I'm gonna go with my gut on that. Maybe later on I may test it out to see how it would have looked if I did that. But right now I'm gonna leave it as it is, call it done, because I'm already in love with it. And that's that. So if you enjoyed this video, maybe comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks guys, bye.